And the thing is, I do believe there was talk about these things. I believe if we study history, the Confederates were able to shoot pterodactyls, back in the Civil War, and they spread these things out. Anybody can look it up online.
Google it
They
yourself.
spread these things out, and this is a historical fact. So, they spread this thing out, and it's got a huge wingwing. It was a pterodactyl they shot. So, of course, these things have been around. Now, they went extinct, obviously, slowly, but surely. And so,
what I'm saying is Jesus wrote a dinosaur to work. That's history. It's in the Bible. How to Train Your Dragon.
Historical facts.
And if you don't believe it, do your own research. Pull up Google. You'll find the picture, I promise.
Oh my God.
Thank you, John Gleason, Godless engineer, for gifting me this beautiful moment. Y'all remember when they tried to cancel Steven Spielberg for posing with an animatronic triceratops animal rights activist?
Back it up.
Hit it from the back.
Cloaca. Historical facts.
Eat my ass, BP. You're down here bailing on the rest of us because you don't want to process your grief and shame like a normal person by drinking and mistreating strangers.
No, Rick. It is you who must nibble my cloaca, or bird asshole.
Everyone knows what a cloaca is.
back in the Civil War, and they spread these things out. Anybody can look it up online. They spread these things out, and this is a historical fact. So, they spread this thing out, and this has got a huge wingwing. It's a pterodactyl they shot. So, of course, these things have been around. Now, they went extinct, obviously, slowly, but surely. And so,
Paul Bunyan was sharing some Funyuns with his pet velociraptor. Oh, you thought it was an ox? Roll back the clock. Let me knock the socks off. Historical facts.
I didn't cut out. You heard me. Are you a pervert or something? Okay.
What's up, heathens? How y'all doing? I'm the Godless Engineer, and I critically analyze apologist claims to give you the best arguments and information so that you can stand up and use your voice, even though my fat ass is sitting down. I always like to take a short little dig, kind of at myself right there. Anyways, all right. Welcome everybody to the Friday night stream. Tonight we're going to be taking a look at our good friend Barak Lurie. Now Barak is not a friend, but he definitely loves shitting on atheism. So we're going to be taking a look at that tonight. And sorry, Daniel, I just missed the notification. But David says good night. Good night there, David. I hope you have a great night, bud. Sleep tight, and I hope that you have a great weekend. We're gonna go see the Batman this weekend, so I'm pretty stoked for that. My sound actually should be pretty good for tonight because I got my shit figured out this past week. But anyways. Tonight Barak Lurie is going to tell us why atheists are scared of God. Well, he calls it scared of the light. It's really awkward how he thinks that we're scared of God and for the reasons that we're scared of God. So I don't know. If y'all want to fuck around and find out what the fuck has crawled up Barak Lurie's ass this week, then please stay tuned. I still haven't got my out version done yet, but anyways. So just to get some boilerplate stuff out of the way, this month we are going to be doing a charity, which I know that what we've decided on is to do some kind of charity that deals with helping out with the Ukraine situation this month, considering that that's still going on because Ukrainians are badasses. I mean, holy shit. It's either Ukrainians are badasses or they're badasses, and Putin doesn't know how to, I guess, run an army or keep a standing army or something. I don't know. He's just fucking up left and right. But anyways, in case you're wondering what I'm drinking tonight, this is a very adult version of a diet vanilla Coke. It's got some vodka and vanilla in it. So, wow, that's very vodka-y. You're like, I filled it up halfway like you do every single night there, GE. I feel your judgment. Anyways, you just have tea? Oh, shit. So Casey's drinking iced tea, in case anybody's wondering. Sweetened with Splenda, she added. So, this month, a portion of all revenue generated by not only this channel, but also the GE Shorts channel, a portion of that is going to be going towards helping out the Ukrainians this month. We're going to be helping them out in some kind of fashion. So, feel free to send a super chat. Join the Skeptic Mafia. Skeptic Mafia is one of the best ways that you can help us donate to charity and support the channel here, but just simply watching our videos is also very helpful. Sharing videos around, if you happen to like a video one day, that would help grow our audience so that more people can watch and we can end up donating more money to good causes like the Ukrainians. So if you will, send a super chat, join Skeptic Mafia, do any of those great things. And I guess we'll get on into the show tonight. We are going to be getting to Barak Lurie. Now, Barak, I've got 2 videos from Barak, so it's kind of a double header tonight. But we still have a full show. I've got Today I Learned, I've got some comments, and Brocephus is kind of getting ready, which actually... yeah, could you go warn him that I picked something up for him? Okay, thank you. I mean, we did get pizza. You can just throw some pizza at him real quick. He'll probably be fine. Yeah. All right, so we got all that going on tonight. So first up is Today I Learned. Oh, wait, I gotta get... there we go. All right. Gotta get my trusty little ukulele. So here, there we go. Today I learned. Woohoo! Gotta add the woohoo in there, otherwise it don't count. So anyways, first up on Today I Learned that we can now decode pigs' emotions. In case anybody was curious about that shit, we know exactly what pigs are feeling now. And that's by using thousands of acoustic recordings gathered throughout the lives of pigs from their births to deaths. And an international team is the first in the world to translate pig grunts into actual emotions across an extended number of conditions and life stages. Can you just imagine that particular talk at the family dinner table? It's like, listen, Joshua, your sister over there's the CEO of a major company doing a lot of great shit. What are you doing? I'm recording pig grunts for the past 15 years and then translating those grunts into emotions. Oh, well, fucking fantabulous. I never thought that I would want to know what emotion my bacon is feeling at that moment. I know I eat turkey bacon, so this particular study doesn't help me out, but it helps plenty of other people. I don't know if it really helps anybody, but apparently this is some kind of fucking study that was needed, or at least wanted by someone. And so in case you guys didn't know, which maybe we need to rewatch the entire Indiana Jones series, which I think that, I mean, you liked it. She says, why are you threatening me with a good time? But anyways, so Today I learned, which I knew this before, but some of you might not know this. Today I learned that the Nazis funded search missions for the Holy Grail and other mythical objects, which were an inspiration for Indiana Jones. The Nazis were definitely god dick suckers. No, they definitely suck god dick, honey. Yeah, I mean, on the belts it said Gott mit uns, bitch. I don't know what bitch is in German, but that's what the God with us, bitch. What the fuck? Which incidentally is what every high school football team yells before they take the field and lose. But anyways, it says this is interesting that the Nazis actually did do this, which was an inspiration for the Indiana Jones stories. That's really crazy. But anyways, all right. Next on today, I learned. Did you know that it is illegal in parts of Oregon and New Jersey to pump your own gas? It's like, stop that, motherfucker! I've got it. Let me just pointlessly, do this right here because obviously you don't know how to fill up a fucking tank like the rest of America. It's kind of crazy that this right here it still exists. Of course, there's a lot of really weird laws that are still on the books. I mean, there are several laws on the books that say that atheists can't hold office. They're not enforceable, obviously, but they still exist and nobody's trying to remove them. And every single fucking year, I swear to Christ, there's like some law that is getting revoked or changed or something like that. And it literally makes no difference to our daily lives, but yet they still want to keep the fuck atheist laws on the books. So just keep that in mind the next time you want to rant about church-state separation. Anyways, that's it for today. I hope you guys learned something. I think I learned the thing about the pigs, about the grunts. This one's probably disappointed. I don't know how pigs sound. I don't spend a lot of... That one sounds constipated. All right. Well, still don't have a good little introduction for this. Maybe I should use some of this nice money that I got after taxes and paying all the bills for a Godless engineer. Maybe I could use a little bit of it to get somebody to professionally do like a little intro for the comments of the day. So anyways, here's comments of the day. Prepare to face palm yourself in the next week. Woohoo! Remember? It doesn't count unless you do the woohoo. Okay. So anyways, let's get to our first comment. We got some doozies in the comments today, which we're gonna have to. We need to switch it out, especially on this first one right here. We got to get our crazy hats on. All right, here we are, dude. Again. You need to research. 55% of Democrats polled are in favor of gas chambers, not just for Republicans, but for anyone that stands against them. I'm not sure where the poll was taken. Take a moment and listen to how the left talks about others. I'm sorry. 55% of Democrats that are polled are in favor of gas chambers for Republicans and others that stand against them? But you don't know where the poll exists? You just pull it out of your ass? And you want me to listen how the left talks? Because it really seems like I'm listening to how you're talking about the left talking, and so it just seems a bit fucked up. Like you definitely got this from nowhere except your own ass. We got Daniel M sending in a super chat. There he goes.
Hey, ain't nobody gonna be fighting over this $5. It's all mine.
Yep, for some reason, it automatically turned the headsets up to 100. So there you go. Fixed it, honey. You're welcome. Thank you, Daniel M, for your super chat. Daniel says, I can get David to give you a professionally amateur intro. I would love it if David did that. That would be awesome. Thank you so much there, Daniel M, for your super chat. All right. So, this guy is just, making shit up and saying that it's an actual poll that exists, but I just don't even understand why they would want to portray Democrats like this, other than they just want to make Democrats look to be like the worst things possible. And I think that it's silly how low they go, like it's really stupid. Next on Today I Learned is Kevin Sorbo's wife, who incidentally is a dipshit just like Kevin Sorbo, in case you didn't know. Sam Sorbo, Mrs. Dipshit Sorbo, says, if you send your kids to public school where they are indoctrinated with Darwinism, how can you condemn what's going on in Ukraine? Russia's attack is simply survival of the fittest. Listen here, bitch. No. Oh, apparently KC's allowed to say that. The guy with the dick isn't. So, listen up here, K Sorbs' wife, or Sam. Sorry, I'll call you Sam. Listen here, Sam. I can condemn Ukraine because that is not the survival of the fittest. And this tweet. No, I'm condemning. No, sorry. I'm not condemning Ukraine. I can condemn the war in Ukraine. Sorry. I can condemn the war in Ukraine because that's not survival of the fittest. The survival of the fittest would be the, ability to survive. And typically that's shown like in the natural world with, who's better adapted. Okay. Right now, it kind of seems like the Ukrainians are kind of better adapted at this particular war, considering they're holding out for this long. But, obviously Putin is making a lot of dumb decisions, and, his country's money is worth less than a Dogecoin right now. So it kind of seems like maybe the fittest is going to survive this thing. I mean, I don't know, but I can still condemn the war in Ukraine. The Putin's war in Ukraine, because of the fact that that has nothing at all to do with evolution. Just saying, it's a non sequitur. Blah. But anyways, so Sam Sorbo, as much as a dipshit as her husband is. Next up, we got, that's okay. When President Trump wins for the third time, he'll pardon them all, and a real investigation will begin. Wait!
Hoot, hoot. Here comes the gravy train.
The real investigation can start after the 2022 elections. Can't wait! Elizabeth Richardson goes, disappointed! So, Trump has not won a third time nor a second time. And he only won on a technicality the first time because the majority of the nation voted not for him the first time around. But, that's not what counts in our current system. So that's why he became president. But Trump didn't win after that, and he hadn't won since that time. So since that one time on a technicality. But the real investigation has happened, both into Trump and into the January 6th insurrection thing. And Trump's going to be facing some serious shit. There are serious problems with the whole January 6th thing, because didn't they come out and say that they'd proven that he was very obviously and explicitly breaking the law to overturn the election? I do believe that's what came out. It was a pretty damning document. That fucking document. Luckily, Trump can't read. Maybe Trump can't read. I don't know. That's a possibility, I guess. But yeah. So I love how these conspiracy theories about this shit just don't even make sense at this point. I mean, if you've looked at any of the ridiculous shit that's coming out, I mean, come on, guys. They're waiting for a dead person to come back and run with Trump. And not just any dead person, but a Democrat. JFK Jr. Like, I don't even know why they think that he's walking around somewhere, but they literally waited for days in Dallas around the place where his dad was shot and killed for him to return and announce that he's running for president or running what the fuck ever with Trump. It just, you can't make this shit up. Like, if you were to make this shit up for a movie, you'd be like, there's no fucking way people would believe that. There's no way. It's crazy to me, the kind of shit that these people come up with. Daniel M sent in a super chat saying, if Trump can't read, he can't comprehend it. Well, here's what I know.
Hey, y'all know what? Anytime is a good time for a beer.
Here's what I know. The only thing that Trump really paid attention to while he was president is when his name was called, because that's the way that they got him to pay the fuck attention in the briefings. Okay. Another thing is that when they were reading the Constitution to him, because obviously he never read it whatsoever, he started tugging at his lip. Huh? Yeah. By Amendment 4, he was tugging on his lip. He doesn't give a shit. He doesn't care. He just wanted to do whatever he could, and somebody would tell him that he can't do that. Like the time he tried to nuke a fucking hurricane. I am. Look, I'm projecting away from the mic though, so it doesn't blow people's ears out, but I'm sure they're not appreciating it. Anyways, that's it for that comment. So we've actually gotten some pretty good comments on the actual channel here lately. So these next couple are going to be from the channel. So this first one is, evolution isn't a fact, it's a theory. Critically analyze your top, fucker. So evolution is a fact. There's the amount of evidence that evolution has definitely solidifies it as a fact. That's why I have my shirt. By the way, evolution is a fact. 1, I'm making fun of Cameron Bertuzzi. 2, evolution is a fact. He says it's a theory. It's a scientific theory, which is as close to like solidly proven fact that we can get to. Okay, as far as that type of thing goes. So I did critically analyze my shirt, that thing, which if you guys want to show your support for evolution as a fact, you can go to btwevolutionisAfact.com and you can get your own shirt. They're pretty reasonably priced too. I think just right around $20, but you can go there and get that. But yes, evolution is a fact. It's a scientific theory, and there hasn't been any kind of evidence to disprove it whatsoever. The amount of evidence for it solidifies it as a fact. So evolution definitely occurs there, Vin Fishin. Why you keep saying things like that and I can't repeat it? Oh, I can't? Bitch. Next up is, I gotta say it funny. Okay. Oh, like bitch, like that. I just bitch, like that right there. Okay. Next up is Denny from Charleston, South Carolina. He says, "What you call chattel slavery? Give a definition." As if you can't define it. Can you not Google, motherfucker? Like, why do I have to be fucking dictionary.com to you in a YouTube comment section? Like, if I don't know what people mean by a word, I just go and say define whatever fucking word this person just said into Google. Okay? I'm not going to Google shit for you, but I will explain to people here that chattel slavery is treating a living organism like a commodity, like a person specifically in this particular situation. Chattel would be like, cows and other commodities of that nature. So that's talking about treating people like they're fucking cattle. Okay? Again, fucking define it on Google, okay? If you need help with it, I'll be a smartass and give you a let me Google that for you link. And then you'll feel real fucking dumb. Anyways. I'm a little angry tonight. I'm yelling. Apparently that's a problem. It's my house. I pay my bills. Anyways, so that's going to be it for the comments tonight. Do y'all know what's next? Bro, save us! I'm coming! Damn it, I was eating my pizza and everything, playing with my belly button. Yes, I was playing with my belly button. Don't give me shit about it. That pizza was fantabulous. I'm just going to sip on GE's vodka thingy over here. I Heart Dog says, I love Angry JE. Oh, well, thank you. That was I Heart Dogs' 12-month membership chat. Thank you so much, I Heart Dogs. I appreciate you. All right, let's see. Let's get fucking situated here. All right, here we go. So what are we looking at today? What in the fuck is this? It says, how does this robot mop work, and is it still effective when it snows? Well, I mean, fucking obviously not. I don't know why you're asking this goddamn question. Look, it's stuck in the snow right there. It can't mop shit up with snow. I mean, do you know what a fucking mop is there? Whatever the fuck your name is, I don't even know. So anyways, the robot mops work by not really being mechanical on the inside. Basically what they are, they got these tiny little motherfuckers inside of there. And I mean, we gotta employ them some way, right? So these tiny little Oompa Loompa motherfuckers are inside your little iRobots and whatever kind of self-cleaning device you have. It's not really computer CGI shit in there, okay? It's little tiny fucking Oompa Loompas, and they drive that shit around and they mop shit up. They do the squirty thing, and then in this particular deal, they spin really fucking fast in the middle of the floor and they just scoop it right up, okay? Now, we want to talk about chattel fucking slavery. This right here is just horrible. If you
got a new member.
Holy shit. Fallon Lee became a member because they want more shit like Bro Cephas. Hey, J.E., did you hear that? They want more of me on here. Go fuck off. Anyways, it's definitely not a dog. It's a bunch of tiny Oompa Loompas that are driving around a mop head, and they're cleaning up the floor because you employ them like slaves. You buy them once, and then it just does its thing whenever you tell it to. And they've got little computers in there, but that's just so they get the messages from the little phone app. I see that, KC's always playing around with and ordering her slaves to go everywhere. Little robot slaves that are actually tiny Oompa Loompas. They're tiny Oompa Loompas in your little iRobot vacuum thingies and mops. What you're calling Rosie is 5 Oompa Loompas pulling levers. Yes, it is. The iRobots employ 5 Oompa Loompas in there. Yeah, you can't, you did not do and biopsy on it. You know her like GE knows you? Anyways, don't listen to what she's saying. She's just part of that liberal mass multimedia conglomerate controlled by George Soros, okay? I'm telling you what's real, and it's 5 Oompa Loompas pulling levers and pushing buttons, okay? So there you go. There's your TED Talk for today. Little Oompa Loompas. Y'all just get that right, okay? Now, hold on. I gotta fix some shit up here. Okay, listen, I gotta go. I got more pizza to eat, more beer to drink. Hey, this isn't like that Russian vodka shit, right? Because you know how I hate the Ruskies. I'm a genuine Republican, nothing like those fucking pansy ass motherfuckers now, okay? I don't like Rusky vodka. Sweden, I'm okay with them. Anyways, I gotta go. I will see you heathens later. I hope y'all burn in hell and get right with God. Bye, y'all. God damn it, bro, Cephas, did you say fucking Rusky on the stream? Hey, you know what? You can't control me, motherfucker. The lawyers would like me to tell y'all that the views and opinions of Bro Cephas do not reflect the views and opinions of Godless Engineer. There's no way that Bro Cephas represents us here at Godless. I mean, we're shitty people here, but we're not like that. Anyways, so this was a dreadlocky dog that was having a pretty good time in the snow. Is what that's a dog. Do you think it was a mop? Yeah, it's a dog. It's got some dreadlocks. What of it? Yeah, it's a dog going crazy in the snow. So it was one of those eye bleachy kind of moments. But anyways, that's gonna be it for like Brocephus and everything for tonight. At least he's still got a job as long as he tones down all that weird fucking talk. Anyways, y'all ready to get into the video for tonight? Yeah, you ready to stop all this shit that you gotta keep correcting me about? What? You would never. Oh, really? All right, heathen. So we've made it to the video. We got Barak Lurie here. I'm fairly certain that's how you pronounce it. He's going to tell us because he always introduces his videos the exact same way. So we got Barak Lurie here who's going to be shit talking some atheism. He definitely doesn't like atheists or atheists. And apparently I'm burning Cyrnian's ear. My bad there, Cyrnian. Didn't mean to burn your ear off. I know listening to this heatheny shit can be pretty bad sometimes. All right, so let's get on to Barak Lurie. What you got for us, Barak?
The atheist hates the notion of God. They don't want the accountability. They don't want the responsibility that goes with believing in God.
I don't. So I've mentioned this a few times before, and have not been convinced that there's any kind of justice or accountability in Christianity. At least not like most versions of Christianity, especially not evangelical, which is what most of these people, most of these apologists are, at least.
We got a new member.
Oh shit! Sorry, I just realized my camera wasn't down. Oh fuck! Hold on. Okay, there we go. It wasn't down all the way. It had me cut off a little weird. What's up there, Dalai Lama? Dalai Lama became a shill. Welcome to the Skeptic Mafia, there, Dalai Lama. Anyways, so I've really not found a lot of accountability, justice, or responsibility in most versions of Christianity because there's just an easy out for everything. You know, you can pray to God, ask for forgiveness. You can promise never to do it again. I mean, if we were to employ what most people consider to be true about Christianity, as far as like being accountable for your actions and things, we would have very little of a justice system, and hardly anybody would get justice. I mean, you would just have to, you know, ask for forgiveness and promise to never do it again, and that would be it. Because God forgives everybody of everything, and it doesn't matter how many times you violate his holy word with whatever in the fuck you might be doing that day, he'll still forgive you no matter what. And this is the typical party line of a lot of apologists out there, especially evangelical apologists, is that no matter what you've done, God will forgive you. And so I really don't see a lot of justice in religion. I see a lot, admittedly not as much as there should be, but there is justice being done like in the real world with our justice system. And our justice system is far more rigid than God's justice system. I mean, pretty much God's justice system is, I'm going to send you to hell if you don't follow what I say. And for some versions of Christianity, it's literally just believing in God. Like, it has nothing to do with what your morality is, or if you've done morally good or bad things. Like the morality of your actions isn't really what's factored into God's judgment in some versions of the Christian faith. I say some versions because like there's Catholics who think that you got to use a combination of good works and belief in God in order to get into heaven. And so it really just depends on what version of Christianity you're talking about. Most of the time with evangelicals, though, it seems like just belief in Jesus is the way to get to heaven, or at least that's how it's portrayed to me. So let's see where Barak Lurie goes with this.
Hi, I'm Barak Lurie, and thanks for watching the Barak Lurie Show. Stephen Hawking, the late famous scientist, noted that heaven is a fairy tale for people afraid of the dark. In response, noted theologian John Lennox said that atheism is a fairy tale for people afraid of the light. That sounds exactly on point. Now, why do I say this?
Sorry.
Why do I say it with such conviction? Because it is
my fucking thumb is like configured for my editing shit.
About light.
So let me get back. I meant to stop it right here. So right here, atheism is a fairy tale for people afraid of the light. First of all, atheism isn't a fairy tale. It can't be a fairy tale because atheism is just a single position on whether or not you believe in God. So it's totally subjective to the person because it's just about whether or not you believe in God. It's not about some absolute truth as to whether or not God exists. So atheism can't be a fairy tale. And we're definitely not afraid of the light, whatever the fuck that would mean. We got Zachary Lehaki. Did I say that right there, Zach?
Woo! That's KC's money.
Shit, you got some money there, bae. Zach says, reminds me of the story of Jesus saying, let he who is without sin cast the first stone. Well, how the hell could we ever have a justice system then? I mean, that's true. I don't know. Because, you know, Jesus was pretty explicit in John. Yeah, that came from John. Anyways, so John Lennox here seems to be mistaken about what atheism even is. And I don't know what it means to be afraid of the light. Because I'm obviously not afraid of the light. I have 3 light sources on me right now. I know that's not what he means. I'm not afraid of God. I don't know why I would be.
Hey, ain't nobody gonna be fighting over this $5. It's all mine.
Elizabeth Richardson says, we're all vampires. Or Gollum, the sun does burns. Thank you there, Elizabeth. Even as I feel like as a Christian, you're taught to be afraid of God, aren't you? Like, the reason why, putting the fear of God in people is a phrase is because the Bible teaches that fearing God is the way to wisdom. So why are you portraying it as a bad thing now there, John Lennox? Like, I thought that fearing God was like one of the only pieces of wisdom that we can have, according to the Bible. So it kind of seems like he's cherry picking when it's okay to be afraid of God. Like, atheists are afraid of God. Well, fuck, you are too. Where's the difference? I'm not seeing any.
That sounds exactly on point. Now, why do I say this? Why do I say it with such conviction? Because it is about light. See, we're not afraid of the dark. We embrace the light. But the atheist, he fears the light. And this particular light is so bright and so challenging for him, because if he were to see the light, he would understand that it's about responsibility.
It's about responsibility? Where the fuck are you getting that from? I don't see responsibility in the Bible. Do you see responsibility in the Bible? No? I don't see it in the Bible. Does anybody here see anywhere where it says, thou shalt claim responsibility for the shitty shit that you do? I don't see that anywhere in the Bible. In fact, what I see is that people should be afraid of God, of this light. And also, you're talking about the light being so bright that you're afraid of it? Yeah, if there was a bright light coming my direction, I would probably be afraid of it because it's either a train or a car or some kind of large object that'll definitely flatten my ass. We got Asexual Atheists sending in a member chat saying, I prefer light in the form of science, not dogma. I agree. And if anything, like, as far as the portrayal of atheists and us being more analytically or scientifically minded, I feel like we run towards that particular light. Like we run towards illuminating things that we don't know about our reality. So what the light that he's talking about here, of course, is God's light. And the only thing that God cares about, as far as the Bible goes, because he's a Christian, as far as the Bible goes, the only thing that God cares about is whether or not you believe in him. I'm not afraid of that. I'm not afraid of God sending me to hell. If I die and I find out there is a God and it is Yahweh, then I will happily burn in hell with Satan or be tortured by Satan or something, because I would rather do that than spend any kind of time with God, the Yahweh God, at least. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't understand why it's a bad, I still don't understand why it's a bad thing that we are quote unquote afraid of the light. It seems like, Christians are also afraid of the light. Like you may embrace the light, you may embrace the fear, but I don't know anybody else that would like embrace the fear of it. I don't know. It's totally confusing, this little bait and switch that they're pulling here.
It's about accountability, answering ultimately for all of his actions and words.
No, okay, so this is wrong, because you're not, depending on your interpretation of Christianity and your theology within Christianity, this is completely wrong. Now, if he was Catholic and he was speaking from a Catholic position about, how they theologically interpret Christianity, he might be right, because in Catholicism, you have to, be a good person and do good deeds and believe in God. But for evangelical, for like Protestant Christianity, for especially evangelical Christianity, this is just simply not true. Because nowhere in the Bible does God judge people for their actions and words. What he judges people for are following his commandments, following his words, following his lead. And if you do follow his lead and do what he wants you to do, then you're fine. So this isn't actually answering for your actions and words, unless they're actions and words that God don't like. So, if like, for instance, the conquistadors that came over to, the Americas and totally fucked shit up. I mean, they thought that they were doing things for God. Like they were bringing Jesus to the savages or what the fuck ever kind of racist kind of shit that is. Bringing Jesus to the Native Americans. It's like, okay, well, you ended up killing a lot of them, and then you killed the rest of them, and now it's all fucked. But hey, you were doing it for God, so obviously that's perfectly fine. Like this whole idea of just following God's law or following what God wants is not congruent with our normal set of morals now. Like what is societally normal for us now is totally antithetical to what the Bible tells us.
This is the problem for the atheist. This is ultimately the reason why the atheist hates the notion of God. It's not because they don't really believe in God. They are afraid of God.
Again, I'm not afraid of God. I don't believe God exists. It would be like me saying that you're afraid of the big dick dinosaur walking around the place looking to fuck shit up. Okay? You're not afraid of that. I'm not afraid of your God. I feel like that's comparable.
I've said this many times before. They don't want the accountability. They don't want the responsibility that goes with believing in God.
What accountability? What responsibility is there? Like, you don't have responsibility in evangelical Christianity or Protestant Christianity. There's no accountability. There's no responsibility. I mean, why do you think that every single time you have like a Christian counselor that's counseling somebody that has been sexually assaulted or raped or anything like that, and like what they eventually land on is forgiving, like forgive the guy that assaulted you in that way. I really don't know if I would be able to do that in that situation. Like I can't see asking a great victim to do that. Like that's just horrible, but it happens all the time in these Christian universities, and they always try to hide it too. In multiple different Christian organizations, they have always tried to hide those type of assaults. And
what are you doing? I blew my load.
They always make it out to be like it's between them and God. And that just sets them up to assault and offend more people. And so I don't see the responsibility. I don't see the accountability. If all you have to do is beg for forgiveness and promise you'll never, ever do it again, there is no accountability or responsibility. So I am not afraid of being held accountable for my actions or being responsible for my actions. I have to deal with the being accountable and responsible for my actions in the here and now. There's especially one person right now that is definitely reaping what he has sown in the past. I feel like this is the only way that you really get accountability and responsibility. Not leaving it up to God, but to handling it ourselves by holding people accountable and responsible, by being accountable.
Hey, ain't nobody gonna be fighting over this $5. It's all mine.
holding yourselves accountable and responsible. Paul the Professor, subscribe to talk some shit. We got a couple of super chats here. The Jim Tanker says, I'm as afraid of your God as I am afraid of the boogeyman under my bed. Oh shit, Jim, you best watch out. That boogeyman will get you. Have you ever seen the movie Little Monsters? That shit'll fuck you up. I don't know. I liked it as a kid, but anyways. But then we got Arduin. Arduin says, I'm afraid of the Sandman putting sand in people's eyes and shit, and boom, you're asleep. Freaks me out, man. I mean, seriously, like I don't know why he thinks that atheists are not held accountable. Like, regardless of whether or not you believe in God, you're still held accountable by society. Like, you can't just run around assaulting people and everything like that. Like, you're held accountable.
They know that there's a responsibility. And for that, they hate you, the believer, because you are...
No. I have to stop him right here. I do not hate believers, like, as a general blanket statement. Atheists don't hate believers. I have people in the chat right now that are believers. I don't hate them, and they don't hate me. You know why? Because we're not falling for your propagandistic bullshit, Barak Lurie. You bitch. But I mean, that's because I can separate somebody's beliefs from the person. I can hate the religion and particular beliefs rather than the individual. Okay. Now there are certain Christians out there that I say that I hate. Okay. Like, Steven Anderson. I hate that man. All right. I'm being a little generous to even call that fucking asshole a man, but I definitely hate that guy. Okay. Him and the rest of the IFB people, they are shitty people, but it's not because of Christianity that I don't like them or would rather not be around them. It's because of their words and their actions. Huh? Greg Locke's another motherfucker that can fuck off. Okay. Also, people that beat their children, you know, and bruise them up, hitting them with like wooden boards and shit. Those people can fuck off too. Okay. But it's not because of their faith or their non-faith for that matter that I don't like these people. It's because of their actual actions and words. So don't try to frame it as me, as anybody, any atheist hating believers just because they're Christian. That's not the reason why.
Always calling them into account. This is the problem for the atheist and always will be the problem for the atheist. If you want proof of that, talk to an atheist about why you believe in God, and he will shut you down so quickly. He will simply dismiss you as believing in fairy tales.
I wouldn't say fairy tales. In fact, most atheists are going to be former Christian or formerly religious in general. Currently right now, like deconstruction is a pretty big topic, just in general on the internet, I guess. People deconstructing, apologists wanting to warn people away from deconstructing their faith and things of that nature. But it's definitely not, fuck, I forgot what he said already.
So quickly. He will simply dismiss you as believing in fairy tales.
So it's if I we got I Heart Dogs in the super chat here saying, don't you love how this guy can read atheists' minds?
I don't know what y'all have heard, but donating is not going to make me stop. Fuck me in the asshole.
Definitely won't stop that. That is stuff I hate. I agree. But so if I ask somebody, why do you believe in God? Unless it's a conversation where, you know, we're looking to discuss ideas, like discuss why I am not convinced by in the same way that another person is convinced. honestly, I'm not even going to ask you why you believe in God. If you believe in God, perfectly fine. I don't give a fuck. Just don't go around stoning people that don't, in general. Don't go stoning people. Don't, do any of that kind of barbaric shit that is suggested in the Bible. I really just don't care if somebody believes in God. If you do, fine. I'm not going to say that you believe in fairy tales. I don't believe in your particular religion or any religion for that matter. And I have reasons. If you want to know my reasons, I will happily tell you my reasons. If you tell me the reasons why you're convinced, I'll tell you why those reasons don't convince me.
That's KC's money.
It's right. Jason Kolisak, who says, "Boogie woogie woo, insane clown posse." I remember that song. I used to listen to Insane Clown Posse a lot, but I haven't in a long time. But so if you ask me why I'm not convinced, I'll tell you why. But for him to like portray it as, oh, an atheist will quickly shut down your reasons. It's like, well, fucking duh. Okay. If you're going to present me with reasons why you believe in God and you're wondering why I don't believe for the same reasons, I'll tell you why. But that also doesn't mean that I hate you. I'm not convinced by the things that convince you, but that's about all that I can say. Even when I had the Mormons consistently coming to my door, I would always talk to them because, I used to be religious myself. Now, I wasn't Mormon, and I definitely didn't go door to door asking people to believe in Jesus, but I used to be religious. I used to think the exact same way as religious people, as far as like the religious topic goes. So I don't understand, other than he's just pushing propaganda in order to drive a wedge between atheists and religious people. I don't understand why he would portray it like this, because it's just simply not that way. Now, are there some bigoted atheists out there? Yes, definitely. There are definitely atheists out there that are bigoted towards anybody religious. I don't advocate for that whatsoever. I don't automatically assume that. Philip V, subscribe to talk some shit in the chat. I don't subscribe to the whole idea that just because you're religious, that means you're stupid, or anything like that. We simply just disagree on the proposition of whether or not a God exists. And that's pretty much it. Now, from what I can tell, religious people are actually very wordy when it comes to atheists, because every single time I appear on a religious person's channel, the comment section is just utter trash. There's no moderation. They just let people say whatever in the hell they want to say. And what they have to say is just pure bile. And this is coming from Christians, the ones that are supposed to be responsible and accountable for their actions and words. And yet every single time I see them just being trash goblins.
Notwithstanding that you have all sorts of evidence and logic to compel your way of thinking.
Oh, yeah. So I get it. But just because you're convinced by something doesn't mean that I will be convinced by something. We got Daniel M sitting in a super chat saying, do you think some Christians have to come up with these conversation ending mechanisms?
Hey, ain't nobody gonna be fighting over this $5. It's all mine.
Daniel M says, do you think some Christians have to come up with these conversation ending mechanisms to avoid being convinced by the opposition? I mean, maybe. I'm not sure. I know that what I do know for certain is that the Bible definitely teaches that you should not mingle with people of other faiths and non-faiths.
Hey, ain't nobody gonna be fighting over this $5. It's all mine.
Yeah, it's very kind of in-groupy, out-groupy, racist type of thing. And it's a little strange. It's a little odd that it's persisting till today. But definitely the Bible tries to drive a wedge between God's chosen people, whether that be the Jews or the Christians, and the rest of the world, like everybody else that's not convinced by either one of those religions. So there's definitely that's definitely a factor to it. I don't know if that's why Barak is doing it, but it's definitely something that doesn't exist in reality, and he's just being a bigoted asshole. Rhonda Harriet says this money is for KC. Woo, KC got $5. Well, I guess earlier you got, like, I don't know. You're on up there. You get all the monies. Of course, that's 50-50 after taxes, and we got to pay shit for the channel. So I mean, you'll get your $350.
He will reject it. If you want proof of that, just look at any of the comments to any of these YouTube channel videos, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Virtually none of them have seen any of these videos all the way through. They've seen the title, and that's enough to set them off. But if they actually wanted to disagree with it, then they should listen to the video.
Well, and I've got 2 videos from Barak Lurie where I've responded to Barak Lurie on my channel. I haven't watched all of his videos because honestly, I don't expect anybody to sit through that bullshit. Even though they're short videos, this is still just some really bigoted shit. Even if you're a Christian, like, you have to recognize how bigoted Barak Lurie is. And I don't understand why some Christians out there think that this is a good tactic to take. Now, that's they might throw that in my face saying, well, atheists talk like this too. I get that. I get that there are bigoted people on both sides. That's why I try not to be that way, and I promote.
Hey, ain't nobody gonna be fighting over this $5. It's all mine.
Thank you, I Heart Dogs. That's why I try to promote positive conversations. I try to promote, not being a bigoted asshole. I mean, sure, I'm an asshole at times, but at least I'm not a bigoted asshole. I Heart Dog says Greg Kokel wrote a whole book on how to manipulate conversations. It's called Tactics. Yeah, he did. And I haven't read it, but I'm sure that it has a lot of great ways in order to try to manipulate whatever conversation partner you have into believing the shit that you do, or to have them not think about how you're not answering their questions. The Jim Taker sent in a member chat saying if someone believes in something without rational if someone believes in something without rational reasons and against evidence to the contrary, isn't that delusional behavior? I could certainly say that some positions that I have heard that match that description could be described as being delusional about it. But I think that there's a difference between correctly identifying delusional behavior and just blanketly calling somebody delusional. I think that you could definitely call specific beliefs or specific lines of logic as delusional. It's definitely a conversation ender to just say that the person is delusional in general. Guys, Arduin says guys like him are like, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you.
Hey, ain't nobody gonna be fighting over this $5. It's all mine.
Now repent, please, and give your ass to Jesus. Thank you, Arduin. All right, let's continue.
Most of the people who do watch this video in full are the believers. But I would like you to please go out there and tell them to watch it with you. Explain to them that maybe this Lurie guy has got something here.
No, Barak Lurie doesn't have shit here. Jane Pusacker, who's one of the Christian Skeptic Mafia members, said, I wonder what his response would be to the Hillsong pastor scandal would be, and the things that Ravi Zacharias did when he was alive. Well, I don't know, but the thing that I would probably hedge my bet on is that he would say that they're not really Christian. I get the feeling that this guy is very similar to Ray Comfort in his theology. This is just me speculating and guessing, so take it with a grain of salt. But it kind of seems like he would be the type of person to be like, well, those people weren't actually Christian. They were just saying they were Christian, but they weren't actually Christian because real Christians don't do that shit. Which is a really poor apologetic, by the way. Quentin says, I forgot to leave a comment this week. I'll use this. This guy built the weakest straw man ever, blew it down, and is claiming victory. Hope by next week to have my new debit card so I can super chat. Thank you so much there, Quentin. I appreciate you.
It's a new way of thinking about the consequences of atheism, and more importantly, the need to embrace God.
I don't need to embrace shit. I mean, I embrace science already. So, but I mean, I don't need to embrace God. It would be a lot like me saying you need to embrace that leprechaun from those scary movies. I mean, you can keep a 4-leaf clover around so that you can trap him in a box, but you still need to embrace his existence, motherfucker.
The need for accountability and responsibility, and ultimately, that God is at the center of any advance that we might ever hope for civilization.
I'm sorry, what? God is at the center of any advancement for our civilization. Are you fucking serious, Barak dipshit? Because I don't see God in our Constitution. And that's definitely an advancement in society. In fact, I would say that our Constitution, the U.S. Constitution, is antithetical to what's in the Bible. At every point in the Constitution, you can see how it works against the sentiments that are conveyed in the Bible. Like, one of the sentiments that it was actually congruent with it up until a point in the past was slavery. So, I mean, you got slavery. You good with slavery there, Barak? I don't see how God is at the center of all advancements. I like at the center of the advancement of computer systems and everything like that. I don't see God. I don't know how God factors into that. I don't see it anywhere. In fact, it seems like God is against advancement in certain areas. Like, I'll just give you a for instance, really simple thing, lightning rods. I don't know how many people here know the story about the lightning rods, but when they were invented by, I believe that was Ben Franklin? Ben Franklin, yes, sorry. Ben Franklin. When Ben Franklin invented the lightning rod, certain religious groups said that it was an abomination to God. It was an affront to God to stop lightning from striking motherfuckers as they rung the church bell. It was an affront because it was interrupting God's plan. If you got struck by lightning while ringing a bell on a church, that was seen as divine judgment or a divine action. Quite similar to how, the ancient Romans, thought that Zeus, which I think is, wait, hold on. That's Greece, I believe. Let's see. Zeus is actually Jupiter in Roman mythology. Zeus is the Greek name. In ancient Greece, anywhere that was struck by lightning was considered a holy site because of fucking Zeus. Okay? In much the same way, Christians thought that lightning was used by God to do things, like in reality. And so if you were struck dead...
Here comes the gravy train!
And so if you were struck dead by God while ringing the bell, you deserved it. Ben Franklin put a stop to that by creating the lightning rod, and people were opposed to it. People have been opposed to several technological advancements in the past. Like, I mean, there's the whole, being against rock music. Even at the center of cultural and societal advancement in our in the music industry, you had dipshit Christians that were doing the whole satanic panic thing, thinking that the singer of Kiss, who put on makeup behind the stage and came out there and vaguely talked about fucking somebody in a song, was apparently the work of the devil. How is God at the...
Hey, ain't nobody gonna be fighting over this $5. It's all mine.
How is God at the center of any of that? I don't fucking know. Lucrezia cosplay, I don't know why I pronounce it like that. Lucrezia cosplay says the superiority complex makes me avoid church a lot now. It is vile. Separation of church and state means our religion has no effect on others, especially whatever advancements he speaks of. And then we got MathWiz, who says, so God gets all the credit for advancing civilization. I guess the people who work their whole lives for it are chopped liver. Yep, exactly, because it doesn't matter who does what. It only matters that God did it. And that's it. Whatever it is, God did it. Taking a math test, just answer, God did it, and you're going to get them all right, depending on the school that you go to, apparently. I mean, how crazy would that be if you went to like a religious school and for every question you just said, I don't know, but God definitely was responsible for this. If you did that for every answer, I wonder if they would have the heart to mark it wrong. I feel like that's a way to cheat your way out of school in that particular situation. At some point, they got to be like, I'm sorry, I love the Lord. Suck his dick every goddamn day. This is wrong though, okay? You're a dipshit. You're failing.
I'm Barak Lurie. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk with you next week.
Oh, will you? Okay, so we're gonna jump around on his channel a little bit. We're gonna go to another video. So this one is also similarly short. It's actually shorter than this one. But we're gonna take a look at it.
The fact is, a world.
So this is atheism as an ideology.
Just a little bit of money.
Jason Colasite gave a little bit of money saying Hell's Bells must got their panties in a twist. Damn straight they did.
The fact is, a world without God is a world without foundation. It is ultimately a world where we lose everything that is important to us.
How do we lose everything that's important to us? I mean, I feel like he might explain during this thing, but I just don't understand how we lose everything if God isn't there to ground shit, which I don't even know how God grounds shit now. Like the table right here, I don't know how God is a factor in this table. I mean, he definitely didn't build this shit. I did. You know how I know? Because I remember fucking doing it. I put the leg on the wrong end, so I had to take that shit off and switch ends and everything like that. Also had to figure out how to make it go up and down so that it was a stand-up sit-down desk. So, I don't see God in that. God didn't come down and help me do it. Jesus didn't appear anywhere in his fucking flip-flops and his dress and help me build this thing. Okay? KC helped. Are you God? She's not God. She's too good of a person. I love you too, hun.
Hi, I'm Barak Lurie, and welcome to the Barak Lurie Show. As we've discussed before, we are talking about the dangers of atheism. But most importantly, I want to kind of get something out of the way right now. The biggest critique I've ever received for my books, Atheism Kills and now Atheism Destroys, is that I'm arguing that atheism is an ideology. Most atheists will say, what are you talking about, Mr. Lurie? Atheism is not an ideology. It simply means that I don't believe in God. You can believe what you want to believe, but I, the atheist, don't want to believe your nonsense, and therefore, what's the big deal?
I agree. I don't know what the big deal is, that I just simply don't believe in your God. And it seems like he understands the atheist position. So there's no reason for him to misrepresent it, right? I don't understand why they have to willfully misrepresent atheism when they fully know what our position is. We're not convinced by it, and that's not hurting you.
Hey, ain't nobody gonna be fighting over this $5. It's all mine.
Olivia Williams says, let us not forget how they oppose every social advancement, women equality, gay marriage, all of that shit. They are totally against. There's no way that God is at the center of that, especially when God in his Bible, regularly has women as not even being a full person.
Hey, ain't nobody gonna be fighting over this $5. It's all mine.
Shit.
Hey, ain't nobody gonna be fighting over this $5. It's all mine.
So thank you, Olivia, for your comment there.
Woo! That's KC's money.
Mathwiz says, it's not that we don't want to believe in God. It's just that we don't find the evidence convincing. Jason says, if you're asked if you're a God, you say yes. Daniel M says, I do electric drafting for substations and I ground shit so people won't get electrocuted walking through it. Oh, okay. I get where you're going with that, Daniel. That's funny. But so me not believing in your God is not hurting you. Me not being convinced by your bad logic isn't hurting you. And I definitely denounce anybody that is a bit bigoted or throws shit in your face because they disagree with you. So yeah, I'm glad that he understands the atheist position and how it's just that we're not convinced by his bad arguments. Let's see where he goes with it, though.
That attitude is wrong. It is, in fact, an ideology.
Well, fuck me! that is just wrong. and atheism is an ideology. Now, considering that atheism doesn't make any other stipulations other than whether or not somebody believes in a God, I don't see how it can be an ideology, but I'm sure he's about to edify us on this particular point.
To say that atheism is not an ideology because you don't believe in God is like saying you don't believe in hygiene, and therefore there are no consequences that flow from that. Of course there are. There are many things that are ideologies.
Well, so before he gets into whatever else is an ideology, I feel like that's a really bad analogy here, and here's why. We can scientifically detect fucking germs. Okay? We can tell that germs exist. We can observe them through a microscope. We've definitely been able to run scientific experiments that show how germs spread. So atheism is not at all like not believing in hygiene, because there's literally no evidence.
We got a new member.
Fucking Atheist Drew became a member. There's nothing that proves God like looking through a microscope and physically fucking seeing bacteria. Okay? There's no evidence out there like that. So it's a bad analogy because we can verify that good hygiene produces good health, and good hygiene is the best way to live, despite what some people in Alabama may think. Well, let's be serious. America is kind of the dipshit on the stage right now as far as hygiene goes, because we don't know how fucking contagious diseases work.
People accept as ideologies. You can also say, I don't believe in rearing children correctly or raising them whatsoever. But that also has its consequences.
We can see the real effects of that. We have scientific studies that study that very thing. So, I mean, we can quantify that. Can you quantify God? Is there some way to quantify God's effects on our reality? I don't understand how you would do that, considering that nothing in this reality can securely be tied to God and God doing it, unless that you've got some, evidence that you're just holding back, before you get that Nobel Prize, or before you can get that Nobel Prize. I mean, I just, all of these examples he seems to be going through are totally different when concerned with God, because we can quantify germs and good health or good hygiene. We can quantify what being a good parent is about. Maybe we can't describe being a good parent as monolithically as fucking germs, but we can definitely quantify it. We could definitely analyze it and study it. Your analogies are shit, Barak.
So to say that atheists...
God damn it, bitch!
Just a little bit of money.
We had Jester saying he's just making me wonder if he believes in COVID. I really don't know. Maybe not. He kind of looks like the kind of asshole that would be like, I don't want my DNA changed by no mRNA fucking vaccine. Take it back and I don't want it. MAGA. What? Yes, your entire fucking life forever can get changed by COVID. You can not have it anymore.
Atheism is not an ideology with its own precepts and leaders and followers. To say that is to say the same thing as not caring about hygiene, education, law and order, and all those other things that we could possibly mention.
I don't see how, mainly because your analogies failed earlier. So it really just kind of makes it seem like you're just, speculating about this with no actual evidential data to back it up. And I also don't understand how or why you think that the evidence for God is quantifiable in the same way that everything that you just listed is quantifiable. It just kind of seems like you cannot see past your own particular Christian bias, and you just think that we're the delusional ones when I can assure you we're not.
The fact is, a world without God is a world without foundation. It is ultimately a world where we lose everything that is important to us.
How do we lose everything that's important to us? And how is our world, quote unquote, without foundation? What does it even mean for this reality to have a foundation like that? I have no fucking clue. But also, what I'm wondering what which he's not going to watch this video, let's be honest. But if you're a Christian out there and you happen to have made it all the way through to this point, what evidence do you think makes God the foundation for reality? Because all I hear is just a blanket statement that speculates about God being the foundation without providing evidence that shows that he's the foundation. Of course, first you got to prove that he exists in order for him to be the foundation, but that's kind of my point. I don't see anything that connects God to reality. And so wouldn't it be irrational for me to believe in that God, even though I don't see the evidence that supports his existence or supports the idea that he's the foundation? Also, I don't understand how we lose everything without God. I don't believe in God, and I don't think that God has ever existed. I still am happy, and I'm still sad on occasion. I still experience life exactly the same way, minus all of the fucking guilt and toxic shame that I forced on myself. All of that shit that I had taught to me through religion, I just don't have that kind of burden anymore. And I'm actually much happier for it. So I don't see the benefit that God gives me. I'm not saying that God isn't a benefit for anybody. because obviously people find benefit in God. I just don't see the connection between God and reality. So for me to be rational, I shouldn't believe in that God.
That is what we'll be focusing on, and we'll be discussing how atheism destroys one bit at a time.
Atheism doesn't destroy anything.
Hey, I don't know if y'all know this, but every time you donate, the Lord cries.
You know what is really destructive to like religious belief? Looking for evidence, looking to verify anything that's in the Bible, looking to verify anything that the Bible says about God. Looking for evidence is toxic to religion. So that's the thing that, like, I guess really affects religious belief, if that's even what he's talking about here, because he apparently thinks he needs God in order to be happy, or to drive a fucking car, or for it to rain. He thinks God, at least in the very little bit that he has communicated here, with God being the foundation of everything, it seems like he would agree God makes it rain. And that's just, that's mind-blowing to me that there are still people out there that are like, God makes it rain, he throws thunderbolts with his dick. Lucrezia Cosplay used her member chat to say free will means we made the foundation on our own. I agree. The Jim Tanker said we have more without a God, reality. I would agree with that. I mean, I feel like you definitely, instead of just relying on God as an explanation, you either just simply don't know and you try to figure it out, or if we haven't figured it out yet, you're waiting for somebody else to figure it out. And until that point, you just simply don't know. I don't think that you need an absolute answer for everything. I think that you could be patient and wait. I think that's pretty much the end of this video.
And how we must always move forward for the greater betterment of our society by embracing God back into the Town Hall Center. I'm Barak Lurie.
Embracing God back into the Town Hall Center? Like, is he talking about like a literal town hall? Did like somebody take some kind of display out of your local town hall or something there, Barak Lurie? I'm kind of curious, because that seems to be a very oddly specific like thing to complain about. We got Who's Your Buddy who says almost 3.5 years. So many good times. Thanks for all that you and Casey do. Thank you so much there, Who's Your Buddy. Appreciate you being here. Oh, in the public, it was a proverbial town hall? Okay. Maybe it was proverbial. So, I don't know. Anyways, that's going to be it for Barak Lurie tonight. I hope that you guys enjoyed him. It's always a pleasure to respond to fucking Barak Lurie. Not really.
Hey, ain't nobody gonna be fighting over this $5. It's all mine.
The Sinister Porpoise says, looking for evidence supporting Mormonism is faith destroying. Certainly. I agree. Definitely. Looking for evidence in Mormonism was definitely faith destroying. So, but anyways, as far as 2 videos tonight, his first video that atheists are scared of the light, or scared of God rather, it kind of seems like it's a very cherry picking position, because on the one hand, they want people to be afraid of God because that's the beginning of wisdom according to the Bible. But on the same, on the other hand, you've got that atheists are afraid of the light because they don't want to be responsible for their actions. I think that it's just that you don't like the fact that we're not responsible to your God for our actions. We are responsible in reality for our reactions, our actions and words. So that seems to be the problem in the first video. The second video, atheism is not an ideology. He didn't even define what he meant by ideology. And he compared it to hygiene and I forgot the second one. It was hygiene and something else. I can't remember. Anyways, he used bad analogies to suggest that atheism is an ideology. Hell, not even hygiene is an ideology. Let's see. Hold on. You know, I should have defined this during the video, but let's see. Define ideology. Ideology, a system of ideas and ideals, especially one which forms the basis of economic or political theory and
Ain't
policy.
nobody gonna be fighting over this $5. It's all mine.
Especially one which forms the basis of economic or political theory and policy. How does any of the examples that he brought up there evidence of that? I don't understand how it is. I don't know. Anyways, all in all, I found both of Barak's videos to be ridiculous, and I think that Barak is just a bigoted Christian that doesn't like atheists or atheism for that matter. He's doing a lot of projecting in his videos, and it's very sad to watch. Like, I know that a lot of people get mad and they want to scream or yell or throw dog shit at his feet, but I just feel sorry for him, because that's a person that irrationally hates a group of people for literally no reason other than they're just different than him. And I just feel sad for that guy.
I don't know what y'all have heard, but donating is not gonna make me stop. Fuck me in the asshole.
Who's Your Buddy says the only atheist ideology I adhere to is donating to worthy causes. Woo! Woo! That last little woot kind of came out a little wimpy. Anyways, that's going to be it for our stream tonight. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, let me know down in the comments down below. What did you think about both of these videos? About atheists being scared of God or atheism being an ideology? Let me know down below in the comments or in the live chat right now. While you're doing that, though, why don't you smash that like button if you haven't already smashed it, and subscribe so that you can talk shit in the next live stream. I welcome it. Anyways, I hope that you guys, you heathens, KC will fuck you up, by the way, if you talk shit in the chat. I'm just saying. Anyways, I hope that you heathens out there will have a great weekend. We're going to go see The Batman tomorrow. Also, we've got some great videos coming out next week. We've got one on the archaeological evidence that supports the Old Testament, and another one that's about 45 minutes of me ripping into Bart Ehrman. It's turned out to be 45 minutes long. Like, what the fuck? It was only like 7.5 minutes worth of content. I'm a wordy bitch. Anyways, y'all have a great weekend, and I will see you heathens on Monday. Bye, everybody. Bye, heathens. Oh, don't forget to stand up and use your voice. Bye, heathens. I got it right. I got there. But don't go, because we're going to be going into the Skeptic Mafia comments. I don't know if you guys know this, and those of you that joined the Skeptic Mafia tonight, maybe you can do this next week, but you can check the community tab, and we generally put out a poll where you get to pick the video that we review on Friday nights, and you get to leave a comment that I will read at the end of the stream, if I can do that without burping. KC says unlikely. Okay. Yes, honey, you are a very good partner. Thank you. No comments are held. All right, we got a good number of comments tonight. We normally do. I really appreciate all the Skeptic Mafia members leaving these great comments every single week. First up, we've got shit. Hold on. Let me get this enlarged so that I can. There we go. First up, we got Daniel M. Daniel M says, I find it interesting that this dude says him when referring to atheist. Just a shot here, but it would seem to me that this guy is the male chauvinist type of Christian. It's really pathetic. Also, I saw it all the way through and am still unconvinced. I have to give that I'm not his target audience. However, he is the reason why we can't have an honest and meaningful conversation with some Christians. I'm not afraid of God. That pansy doesn't scare me. See no lightning bolt. Join the Skeptic Mafia and help people play with the whale donger, have a monthly hangout and more. GE can fill you in on the rest. So we've been doing about 2 Skeptic Mafia podcasts a month here lately. We used to do it like every single week, but we're gonna be recording one this weekend. So if you want to join in on the Skeptic Mafia podcast, definitely become a Skeptic Mafia member. Then we got I Heart Dogs, who said this: the apologist implies atheists actually believe his God exists when he asserts that we are afraid of or hate his God. Theists cannot imagine truly not believing. This makes his assertions nothing but straw men. I agree. Next, we got Trickster. There. Next, we got Trickster saying he starts by using a version of the "you just want to sin" argument. Personally, I don't believe in sin, and the only reason I ever give for not believing in a God or gods, is because I have not been shown demonstrable evidence to point me in the direction that any such entities even exist. Give me some of that and we can discuss further. He says that atheists are afraid of God, but isn't it his own book that says you must fear the Lord your God? Yeah. Finally, he says atheists don't want to have a discussion about God and will just shut you out if you bring it up. Most, if not all, atheists I know are more than willing to discuss the subject, but be prepared to bring something to the discussion that can be considered as evidence of what you're saying. I think I should believe in Bigfoot. Got evidence? Got evidence, motherfucker! Want me to believe in fairies? Got evidence? Want me to believe in your God? I think we get the point. We're not scared. We are not unwilling to discuss the subject. We just want you to play on an even level. Surprising that I got this much from a short vid. But this guy is good at fitting so much wrong in a small amount of time. Like, subscribe, and share, and want to join us and have some fun? Join the Skeptic Mafia. It gets all sorts of cool stuff, including the chance to see the Friday video early. Drop a comment that will be read live on air by GE himself. You also get to know that a part of your monthly dues will be used to help those in need. Because, as you know, we atheists are just incapable of doing any good. Their words, not mine. We are just the shittiest fucking people, aren't we? Yup. All right. I gotta wait to hit show more or read more because Zumi has an ASCII. So Zumi says, I can't even listen to all of it because it's yet another Pascal's wager argument. When will they get it through their thick skulls that this isn't a fucking dichotomy? That there are more positions out there than just atheism versus Christianity. It's really frustrating. Anyways, enough of that. Time for ASCII. Boom. That's the because really, why do we keep having to tell them this? Other than the fact that they're dishonest assholes who don't think outside their own religion and think it's impossible for any other gods or goddesses to exist. Anyway, know what does exist? That like button. Go ahead, lick it. you know you want to, and go ahead and smash the subscribe button while you're at it. And make sure that that little dinger's clicked. And go ahead and join the Skeptic Mafia, TM, today as well. Perks. There are perks. For instance, you can get John to say really off-the-wall stuff like Procephus' voice. I don't care who you are. That's funny right there. Or I could sound more like Larry the Cable Guy. I don't care who you are. That's funny right there. I don't think that doesn't sound like Larry the Cable Guy, but you get it. Anyway, that's enough for me tonight. Exit stage right. Actually, I don't know if you guys have noticed, probably not, because I don't really sound like him anymore, but I got a lot of the way that I do Procephus from Rodney Carrington. Y'all should look him up if you know you want to. His older stuff. Do his older stuff. His newer stuff is not so good, but his older stuff is great. Drew's Book Reviews and Other Bookish Things says, while some religious individual may feel that atheists are afraid of the light, there is another perspective to consider, which I think this quote from the Bone Hunters from Malzahn Book of the Fallen by Stephen Erickson summarizes well. All those bickering worshippers, each one convinced their version is the right one. Imagine getting prayers from 10 million believers, not one of them believing the same thing as the other one kneeling beside him or her. Imagine all those holy books, not one of them agreeing on anything, yet all of them purporting to be the word of that one God. Imagine two armies annihilating each other, both in that God's name. Who wouldn't be driven mad by that? And with that thought, until next time, keep on reading. Thank you there, Drew. Appreciate you. Next, we got Terrence Clark, who says, if I was afraid of God, I'd be a Christian. It's why we have the term God-fearing Christian. Doubly so because saying I'm sorry to said God would get me off the hook without ever having to face those I've wronged. This whole atheist just want to sin argument is completely backwards. Or, as we say in the South, bass-ackwards. And nonsensical. Yes, it is how you say that in the South. Bass-ackwards is a thing down here. Get used to it. That silence is, you really want to sleep on the couch tonight there, J.E.? She wants me to tell y'all I've never had to sleep on the couch. I never have. This whole atheist just want to sin argument is completely bass-ackwards and nonsensical. Thanks, but I'd rather be the face of consequences directly than through an imaginary proxy court in the sky. I agree. Next, we got Jonathan Nickel. This is just the atheists don't want to be held accountable line and is nonsensical at every level. I don't hate his God any more than I hate Voldemort or the wicked stepmother from Cinderella. How can you hate something you don't believe is real? That is the part he isn't getting. We don't hate any God. We have not been given sufficient reason to believe that any such entity exists. I am accountable to the people around me. It is to them and to the victim that I would look for forgiveness when I have wronged someone. I am also accountable to the laws of my country and to the police who enforce them. I could turn the argument back on him. I could claim that this Christian guy hates reason, that he doesn't want to be held accountable for whatever supposed sin he's committed. He can just beg for forgiveness from his God, or is that the Catholics? Or is that just the Catholics? I don't know. It's not just the Catholics. Catholics, you have to do good shit along with begging God for forgiveness. Appealing to a God when you have wronged another person helps nobody. That is just avoiding accountability, which would be true whether or not whether a God exists or not. What light do we fear? Is it the light of reason, the light of understanding, the light of education, the light shining out of Trump's ass? I've seen fundamentalists cower in the shadows when we shine any of those in their direction. I certainly don't hate religious believers, but I do feel sorry for the ones whose religion acts as a stumbling block, preventing them from achieving their potential. I can agree with that. Next up is Darren Wright, who says, the delusion is strong with this one. It sickens me to listen to them tell us atheists that we think, that what we think or are afraid of. Why doesn't he actually speak to an atheist first? What a fucking joke. Well, I think that it's probably because his like thing is to misrepresent atheism and atheists. Like I feel like that is his shtick on his channel. And I think that he wholly believes in the version of atheism that he's putting out there. But that I think he's sincere about how wrong he is. Perplexed Papa says, so instead of him inviting some atheists to answer some questions, he just decided to tell his sheeple that what he thinks about what we think. If I thought for a second that there were some all-knowing entity out there, what makes him think that anyone could think that they were fooling this God? I don't know. Thank you, Perplexed Papa and Darren Wright and Jonathan Nickel. Jason Kolasik says, we don't fear the light. We on some facet pity the believer. Which God should we believe in? Well, I definitely feel sorry for Barak Lurie for how goddamn insufferable he is. Hate God? Really? Why would I waste a brain cell hating a figment of your imagination? Might as well hate Santa Claus. The only difference is that you're in on the joke about the latter and still deluded about the former. Super Chat kept blocking the second chapter. Super Chat kept blocking the second chapter. I'm not sure what that means, Jason. But anyways, that's going to be it for the Skeptic Mafia tonight. I really appreciate everybody joining me. You know, the video this week was particularly difficult. I had a different video picked out, but it was just two people in a car that were sort of talking around the issue, but never actually making any kind of points. So it would have been a stupid thing to actually review. Luckily, Barak Lurie pulled it out for us. But and in case you didn't hear earlier, on the stream on the channel this week, we've got a lot of great stuff going on. We'll have a new Bible study. We'll have a special Wednesday look back at the past. It's going to be a long look back at the past. Monday, we've got the archaeological evidence for the Old Testament, which, spoiler alert, there's actually no archaeological evidence that supports the things that the person is claiming. So that's interesting. And then on Thursday, we'll be having Bart Ehrman. Well, I mean, I'm not having Bart Ehrman. Bart Ehrman spoke to David Wood over on his channel. And the first part that's about Jesus mythicism, I reviewed that, and it took me 45 minutes to say what I wanted to say. So we're going to be taking a look at that on Thursday. And yeah, full week next week. Can't wait to get to it. Syrian says, thank you, GE and KC and the chat. Thank you, everybody, for showing up tonight. We're going to go see the Batman tomorrow, so I'll be sure to let everybody know how great that is, because I know that all of you guys are just itching to know what I think about it. But anyways, y'all have an awesome night and an awesome weekend, and I guess we will see you heathens next week with some archaeological evidence and Bart Ehrman. Ehrman. Bart Ehrman. I'll get it one day. Ehrman. All right. I will see you heathens later. Don't forget to stand up and use your voice. Bye, heathens.